Most men spending money on testosterone boosters are ignoring the one window that actually moves the needle. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your body releases the majority of its daily testosterone, but only if the conditions are right. The wrong food before bed shuts that window down completely. The right food keeps it open for hours. Nobody in the supplement industry is going to tell you this, because the answer doesn't come in a bottle. Your entire hormonal system is working overtime while you're unconscious. Before we get to the ingredients, you need to understand why nighttime is when this matters most. Because if you don't understand the mechanism, you'll dismiss this as just another food list. Here's what's actually happening in your body while you sleep. Your pituitary gland releases luteinizing hormone in pulses, roughly every 90 minutes during sleep. Each pulse signals your testes to produce testosterone. The more efficient these pulses, the more testosterone you produce overnight. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that approximately 70% of daily testosterone production occurs during sleep. 70%. That means what you do before bed has a direct, measurable impact on your testosterone levels the next morning. And what you eat in that window either supports or sabotages that entire process. 70% of your testosterone is made while you sleep. What you eat before bed either fuels it or kills it. Now here's where it gets interesting. 3 specific nutrients have been shown in clinical research to directly support the hormonal processes that happen during sleep: zinc, magnesium, and a specific type of fat that most people avoid at night. And before anyone says it, yes, I know some of you are thinking, that sounds like ZMA. We're going to address that directly, because the research on whole food sources of these nutrients versus isolated supplements tells a very different story. There's a specific reason why getting these nutrients from whole food sources works better than supplements for overnight testosterone production. And the science behind it is going to surprise you. We'll get there. Ingredient number 1, the mineral. Your testosterone literally cannot function without. The first ingredient is built around zinc, and I know you've heard about zinc before. But stay with me, because what most people don't know about zinc and testosterone is the part that actually matters. Zinc isn't just good for testosterone. Zinc is structurally required for testosterone synthesis. The enzyme that converts cholesterol into testosterone, star protein, requires zinc to function. Without adequate zinc, your body literally cannot complete the testosterone production process, regardless of how well you train or sleep. A landmark study published in Nutrition found that men with marginal zinc deficiency who supplemented with zinc for 6 months increased their testosterone levels by 93%. Not 10%, not 20%, 93%. 93% testosterone increase, not from a drug, from correcting one mineral deficiency. But here's the critical detail. Zinc absorption from food is significantly higher than from isolated supplements. The bioavailability of zinc from animal protein sources is 40 to 50% compared to 10 to 20% from zinc supplements. Your body was designed to absorb zinc from food, not from pills. So, what's the best whole food source of zinc to eat before bed? Pumpkin seeds. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds contains 2.2 milligrams of zinc, roughly 20% of your daily requirement, plus magnesium, healthy fats, and tryptophan, which supports sleep quality. They're easy to digest, don't spike insulin before bed, and provide a slow, sustained release of nutrients throughout the night. A small handful, about 1 ounce, 30 to 45 minutes before bed is all you need. Now, I want to address something directly. Some of you are going to say, just take a zinc supplement. And yes, zinc supplements work. But here's the thing. Pumpkin seeds don't just give you zinc. They give you zinc plus magnesium plus healthy fats plus tryptophan in a bioavailable package that your body recognizes and absorbs efficiently. That combination matters, and that's something a zinc pill simply cannot replicate. And here's something almost nobody talks about. The second ingredient works synergistically with the first, meaning when you combine them, the hormonal effect is significantly greater than either one alone. But before we get there, I want to show you exactly how to use ingredient number 1, so you're not just throwing pumpkin seeds into your mouth randomly. Timing and quantity matter more than you think. Ingredient number 2, the protein that builds muscle and testosterone while you sleep. The second ingredient targets a completely different mechanism, and this one is going to challenge something you've probably been told about eating before bed. Most people think eating protein before bed is just about muscle recovery. And yes, it absolutely supports overnight muscle protein synthesis. But there's a specific type of protein that does something else entirely. It provides the amino acid precursors that your body uses to produce testosterone during sleep. The amino acid leucine, found in high concentrations in dairy protein, has been shown to directly stimulate testosterone production by activating the mTOR pathway, which regulates both muscle protein synthesis and steroidogenesis, the process of producing steroid hormones, including testosterone. The same amino acid that builds muscle also builds testosterone. Same pathway, same ingredient. The ingredient? Cottage cheese, specifically full-fat cottage cheese. Here's why this matters. 1 cup of full-fat cottage cheese contains 25 grams of casein protein, slow digesting, releases amino acids for 6 to 8 hours, 4 to 5 grams of fat, critical for testosterone synthesis. We'll come back to this. Significant leucine content. Calcium, which supports sleep quality and muscle function. A study published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise found that consuming 40 grams of casein protein before bed increased overnight muscle protein synthesis by 22% in older adults. But here's what that study didn't measure, and what subsequent research has shown. The sustained amino acid release from casein keeps luteinizing hormone pulses more consistent throughout the night, supporting more efficient testosterone production. Here's where people get divided. Do you think eating before bed helps or hurts your body composition and hormonal health? Drop your take in the comments. I want to see where you stand on this, because this debate splits the fitness community right down the middle. By the way, if you want to know the complete nutrition strategy for maximizing testosterone naturally, including meal timing, macronutrient ratios, and the foods that are silently destroying your hormonal health, I break it all down in my testosterone nutrition series. Links in the description. It's the complete roadmap for natural hormonal optimization. Now, why full-fat and not low-fat cottage cheese? Because of ingredient number 3. And this is where everything comes together. Full fat, not low fat. The reason why changes everything. And if you think the fat content in cottage cheese is just about calories, wait until you understand what dietary fat actually does to your testosterone production overnight. This is the most misunderstood piece of the entire puzzle, and it's the reason why low-fat diets are one of the biggest silent killers of testosterone in men over 30. Ingredient number 3, the fat your testosterone is made from. Here's a fact that should fundamentally change how you think about dietary fat. Testosterone is a steroid hormone, and steroid hormones are synthesized from cholesterol, which means your body literally cannot produce testosterone without dietary fat and cholesterol. This isn't controversial. This is basic biochemistry. Yet somehow, an entire generation of men has been told to eat low-fat everything, and then they wonder why their testosterone is declining. A study published in the Journal of Steroid Biochemistry found that men who reduced dietary fat intake from 40% to 25% of total calories experienced a significant reduction in testosterone levels without any other changes to their diet or lifestyle. Low-fat diet, low testosterone, the connection is direct, and it's biochemistry. The third ingredient is extra virgin olive oil, specifically consumed before bed as part of your nighttime nutrition strategy. Here's why olive oil works so well for overnight testosterone production. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fatty acids, specifically oleic acid, which has been shown to increase the activity of enzymes involved in testosterone synthesis in Leydig cells, the cells in your testes that produce testosterone. A study from Morocco tracked men who consumed olive oil as their primary fat source. After 3 weeks, their testosterone levels increased by 17.4%, and their luteinizing hormone increased by 42.6%. Not a supplement, not a drug. Olive oil. 17% more testosterone, 42% more LH from olive oil in 3 weeks. Here's how to use it. 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, either drizzled over your cottage cheese or consumed alongside your pumpkin seeds. The fat from the olive oil also improves the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients from the other 2 ingredients, creating a synergistic effect that amplifies the hormonal response. This is why full-fat cottage cheese matters. The fat in cottage cheese, combined with olive oil, creates an optimal hormonal environment for testosterone production during sleep. Low-fat cottage cheese removes this synergy. And here's the practical reality. You don't need to eat all 3 of these every single night. Choose 2 or 3 combinations that work for your taste and rotate them throughout the week. Consistency over perfection. Now let's put this together practically. Because knowing the ingredients is one thing. Knowing how to use them strategically is what actually produces results. Here's your pre-sleep testosterone protocol. Timing: 30 to 45 minutes before bed. This gives your digestive system time to begin processing the nutrients before you fall asleep, ensuring a steady release throughout the night. The combination: 1 cup of full-fat cottage cheese, 25 grams casein protein, leucine, calcium. 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil drizzled on top, monounsaturated fats for testosterone synthesis. 1 small handful of pumpkin seeds on the side, zinc, magnesium, tryptophan. Total preparation time, 2 minutes. Total cost, under $2 per serving. This combination gives you zinc for testosterone enzyme function, magnesium for sleep quality and hormonal regulation, casein protein for overnight muscle protein synthesis and sustained amino acid release, leucine for mTOR activation and steroidogenesis, monounsaturated fats for Leydig cell enzyme activity, tryptophan for sleep quality, which further supports testosterone production. Everything your body needs to maximize testosterone production during its primary hormonal window. Ingredient number 1, magnesium glycinate. Let's start with the one that most men are deficient in without even knowing it. Magnesium, but not just any form of magnesium, magnesium glycinate specifically. Here's why this matters so much after 40. Studies show that over 70% of men in Western countries are chronically low in magnesium. And when your magnesium levels drop, 2 things happen simultaneously. Your sleep quality tanks, and your testosterone production takes a direct hit. A landmark study published in the journal Biological Trace Element Research found that men who supplemented with magnesium for 4 weeks saw a significant increase in both free and total testosterone levels. And the effect was even more pronounced in men who were physically active. But here's the part that most fitness channels skip. Magnesium doesn't just support hormonal health. It's also directly involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body, including the ones responsible for muscle protein synthesis and recovery. When you take magnesium glycinate specifically, not magnesium oxide, not magnesium citrate, you get superior absorption and a powerful calming effect on your nervous system. This means deeper sleep, faster recovery, and a hormonal environment that actually allows your body to rebuild muscle overnight. The recommended window: 30 to 60 minutes before bed. 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate. That's it. 70% of BOM-self men are deficient. And deficiency doesn't just affect your sleep, it shuts down your hormonal engine. Ingredient number 2, zinc. If magnesium is the foundation, zinc is the ignition switch for your testosterone production. Here's the science. Zinc is a critical cofactor in the enzymatic process that converts cholesterol into testosterone inside your body's hormonal glands. Without adequate zinc, that conversion slows down, and your T levels follow. A study published in Nutrition Journal showed that men who were zinc deficient and then supplemented with zinc for 6 months nearly doubled their testosterone levels. Not a small bump, nearly doubled. And after 40, zinc depletion accelerates for 2 reasons. First, your body absorbs zinc less efficiently as you age. Second, intense physical training, especially resistance training, depletes zinc rapidly through sweat and metabolic demand. This means the men who train hardest are often the most zinc deficient, and they're the ones wondering why their recovery is slow and their energy is low. The best forms for nighttime use: zinc picolinate or zinc bisglycinate, 25 to 45 milligrams before bed. Taken with magnesium, these 2 create a synergistic effect on sleep quality and hormonal restoration that is genuinely hard to replicate any other way. One important note: don't exceed 40 to 50 milligrams of zinc daily long-term without medical supervision. High doses can interfere with copper absorption. More is not always better here. And when you combine zinc and magnesium with ingredient number 3, something remarkable happens to your body's ability to produce growth hormone during deep sleep. I'll get to that in just a moment. Low zinc doesn't just lower your T levels. It slows your recovery, clouds your focus, and quietly drains your vitality, one night at a time. We've covered 2 of the 5 ingredients, And already you can see how much is happening in your body while you sleep that most men are completely ignoring. But we haven't even gotten to the ingredient that directly impacts your body's peak hormonal output window, the one that happens between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. That's coming up next. And ingredient number 4 is the one that's going to change how you think about nighttime nutrition entirely. Keep watching. Ingredient number 3, ashwagandha, KSM 66. This is where things get really interesting, and where the science has gotten significantly stronger in the last 5 years. Ashwagandha, specifically the KSM 66 extract, is one of the most well-researched adaptogenic herbs for male hormonal health and physical performance, and its nighttime benefits are particularly powerful. Here's what the research shows. A double-blind, placebo-controlled study published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that men who supplemented with KSM 66 ashwagandha for 8 weeks experienced a 17% increase in testosterone levels, a significant reduction in cortisol, and measurable improvements in muscle strength and recovery compared to the placebo group. Why does cortisol matter here? Because cortisol and testosterone have an inverse relationship. When cortisol is high, which it often is in men over 40 who are dealing with work stress, poor sleep, and physical training, testosterone production is suppressed. Ashwagandha breaks that cycle by lowering cortisol, which creates the hormonal space for testosterone to rise naturally. And the nighttime timing is key. Taking KSM 66 before bed amplifies its cortisol-lowering effect during the exact window when your body is trying to initiate its hormonal restoration cycle. Recommended dose: 300 to 600 milligrams of KSM 66 extract, 30 to 60 minutes before sleep. Cortisol is the silent testosterone killer, and most men over 40 are running on high cortisol every single night without knowing it. Real talk. Here's a question I want you to answer honestly in the comments. Do you think the drop in energy, strength, and vitality after 40 is mostly inevitable, just part of aging? Or do you think it's mostly driven by habits and nutrition that can actually be reversed? Drop your answer below. This one always splits the room, and I want to see where this community stands. By the way, if you want to know the exact training protocol that maximizes testosterone and muscle growth specifically for men over 40, I've got a complete breakdown in my men's optimization playlist. Check it out after this video. It's the natural next step to everything we're covering here, and it will show you how to make these ingredients work even harder for you. Ingredient number 4, vitamin D 3 plus K2. Here's the one that surprises most people, because most men think of vitamin D as a daytime supplement, a morning thing, something you take with breakfast. But the research tells a different story. Vitamin D3 is not just a vitamin. It functions as a steroid hormone precursor in your body, and its relationship with testosterone is direct and well documented. A study published in Hormone and Metabolic Research found that men who supplemented with vitamin D3 for 1 year had significantly higher testosterone levels than the placebo group, with an average increase of around 25%. Here's why nighttime matters. Your body's hormonal restoration cycle, the one that peaks between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., requires adequate vitamin D3 to function optimally. When D3 levels are low, that hormonal peak is blunted. You sleep, but your body doesn't fully capitalize on that recovery window. And K2 is the critical partner here. It ensures that the calcium mobilized by D3 goes into your bones and muscles where it belongs, not into your arteries. D3 without K2 is an incomplete equation, especially for long-term cardiovascular and skeletal health. Recommended dose: 2,000 to 5,000 IU of D3 paired with 100 to 200 micrograms of K2, MK7 form, taken with the small amount of healthy fat before bed for optimal absorption, because D3 is fat-soluble. This combination doesn't just support your hormonal health, it supports bone density, immune function, cardiovascular health, and muscle function simultaneously. For men over 40, this is one of the highest leverage supplements you can take. Remember when I mentioned that combining zinc and magnesium with the third ingredient creates something remarkable for growth hormone production? Vitamin D3 is part of that equation, because D3, zinc, and magnesium together create the optimal hormonal environment for your pituitary gland to release growth hormone during deep sleep. That's the trifecta that most men are missing. 25% more testosterone, not from a drug, not from a protocol, from a vitamin most men are chronically deficient in, taken at the right time. We've covered 4 of the 5 ingredients, and if you've been paying attention, You've already identified at least 2 or 3 that you're probably not taking or not taking correctly. But ingredient number 5 is the one that ties everything together. It's the one that directly feeds your muscle tissue overnight while simultaneously supporting your hormonal environment. And it's something you've probably heard of, but almost certainly not in this context. Stay with me. Ingredient number 5, casein protein or whole food alternative. This is the one that bridges the gap between hormonal optimization and physical performance, and it's the most underutilized nighttime strategy in men's fitness. Casein protein is a slow-digesting protein that releases amino acids gradually over 6 to 8 hours. While you sleep, your body enters its primary muscle repair and growth phase, but only if it has the raw materials to work with. Without adequate protein availability overnight, your body can actually break down existing muscle tissue for fuel. This is called muscle catabolism, and it's one of the silent reasons why men over 40 struggle to maintain and build muscle, even when they train consistently. A study published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise found that men who consumed casein protein before bed had significantly greater muscle protein synthesis overnight compared to those who didn't. And the effect was amplified in men over 40 due to the anabolic resistance that naturally increases with age. But here's the connection most people miss. Protein synthesis and testosterone production are not independent processes. They share hormonal pathways. When your body has adequate amino acid availability overnight, particularly leucine and arginine, it supports both muscle repair and the hormonal signaling that drives testosterone production. If you prefer whole food alternatives, cottage cheese is one of the best natural sources of casein. Greek yogurt works as well. 30 to 40 grams of casein protein or a cup of cottage cheese, 30 to 60 minutes before bed. One practical note, you don't need to implement all 5 of these at once. Pick 2 or 3 that align with your current routine and start there. Build the habit first, then layer in the others. Small, consistent changes compound into significant results over time. Your body rebuilds while you sleep, but only if you give it what it needs. Most men are sleeping 7 hours and recovering for 0. Be honest with me. How many of these 5 ingredients are you currently taking before bed? Drop a number in the comments. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or all 5. No judgment here. We're all building toward the same goal. I read every comment, and I want to know where you're starting from. Here's the truth that most men over 40 need to hear. Your body hasn't stopped working for you. It's still capable of building muscle, restoring hormonal health, and generating real vitality. But it needs the right inputs, especially during the hours when it's doing its most important work. These 5 ingredients, magnesium glycinate, zinc, ashwagandha, KSM66, vitamin D3 with K2, and casein protein, aren't magic. They're science. They work with your body's natural overnight restoration cycle to create the hormonal and physical environment where real recovery and real growth can happen. The men who thrive after 40 aren't the ones who accepted that decline was inevitable. They're the ones who got strategic about how they sleep, how they recover, and what they put in their body before bed. Number 1, eggs. Eggs, whole eggs, not egg whites, the whole thing, yolk included. Here's the deal. Testosterone is a steroid hormone. Your body builds it from cholesterol. That's not bro science, that's basic biology. Cholesterol is the raw material. No cholesterol, no raw material, no testosterone. No testosterone, no muscle, no drive, no reason for any woman worth your time to look in your direction. The yolk is where the cholesterol lives. The yolk is also where the vitamin D is, the B12, the choline. Basically every nutrient that actually does something. The white is protein and water. Decent protein, but that's it. Now, somewhere in the 1980s, one pencil-neck researcher published a half-baked cholesterol study. The media lost their minds, and suddenly an entire generation of men started throwing away the most powerful part of the egg to eat the part that tastes like wet cardboard. 40 years of men separating whites, avoiding yolks, wondering why they're not building muscle, wondering why they feel like garbage, wondering why the woman they like is dating someone else. Your doctor was wrong. Your old trainer was wrong. Every fitness magazine that told you to ditch the yolk was wrong. And while they were busy being wrong, they were also smaller than you're about to be. 2 whole eggs about an hour before bed, boiled or poached. Slow digestion overnight. You're not making Sunday brunch. You're fueling a hormonal process that runs while you sleep. Eat the yolk, every single time, no exceptions. We're done with that conversation. Number 2, raw honey. 1 tablespoon. That's the entire dose. Don't overthink it. Here's what happens. Honey triggers a mild, controlled insulin response. Small spike. But that spike does one very specific thing. It suppresses cortisol. And cortisol is testosterone's direct biological enemy. These two hormones run on a seesaw. Cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. They compete for the same raw materials inside your body. Every night you go to bed stressed, overtrained, or underslept, which is most nights for most serious men. Your body is producing cortisol instead of testosterone. It's literally choosing the stress hormone over the one that makes you a man. Every night. Honey before bed flips that. You are chemically lowering the hormone that suppresses testosterone right at the exact window when your body is supposed to be producing it. Not bro science, basic stress physiology. The kind of thing that would be common knowledge if there was any money in selling men a $2 jar of honey. There isn't, so nobody talks about it. Funny how that works. Raw honey specifically, not the processed bear bottle that's been heated and filtered until it's basically sugar syrup with good marketing. Raw honey also contains boron, a trace mineral shown in studies to raise free testosterone and lower estrogen in men within days of consistent use. Less estrogen, more testosterone from honey. The processed version doesn't have it. $2 difference at the store. Significant difference in how you feel, how you look, and how you carry yourself when you walk into a room full of people. Quick thing before we continue. Pay attention because this reframes everything else on this list. 70% of your daily testosterone is produced during sleep, not during your workout, not in the morning, while you sleep, during deep sleep, during the first few hours after you go down. That means sleep quality is not just a recovery issue, it is a testosterone issue. A man sleeping 6 broken hours isn't just tired, he is hormonally compromised, running on empty, and it shows. In the gym, at work, and everywhere else that matters. Every food on this list either helps your body produce testosterone directly or improves the sleep that makes production possible, usually both. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. You can train perfectly, eat perfectly, and still be running at 60% of your hormonal potential just because your sleep is broken. 6 hours of garbage sleep undoes more than you think, more than a missed workout, more than a bad meal, because the production window closes and it doesn't reopen until the next night. Every night you shortchange your sleep, you shortchange your testosterone. Simple as that. Keep that in mind. Number 3, cottage cheese. I know, sounds like something a man eats alone on a Tuesday while watching cooking shows. Stick with me. Cottage cheese is the highest natural source of casein protein you can find at any grocery store. Casein digests slowly, releases amino acids steadily over 6 to 7 hours. Your muscles have a constant supply of building material for the entire night. The entire recovery window. Covered. Whey protein digests in 90 minutes and it's gone. Great post-workout. For overnight recovery, it's useless. Your muscles run out of material at midnight and spend the next 6 hours with nothing to work with. Meanwhile, you're sleeping, thinking you're recovering. You're not. Now here's the part that should genuinely bother you. Half a cup of full-fat cottage cheese has more casein per gram than most casein protein powders on the market. Cottage cheese, $2. Casein protein powder, $40. The supplement industry has been selling you an expensive, artificially flavored, heavily processed version of something that has existed in every grocery store forever. And the real version has calcium, phosphorus, and actual food nutrients the powder doesn't. $40 for the worst product. Every month. For years. That ends today. Half a cup before bed. Full fat. Not low fat, not zero fat. The fat slows digestion and improves nutrient absorption. Low-fat cottage cheese is just a worse decision marketed as a healthier one. Men who are serious don't make worse decisions on purpose. That's not discipline, that's just being a sucker. 3 down. Number 5 is the one most guys have never connected to testosterone in their life. And number 6, I told you at the start. The one that's quietly killing the gains of men who think they're doing everything right. Almost there. Number 4, Brazil nuts. 2 to 3 nuts. Not a handful, 2 or 3 individual nuts. I'm completely serious about that number. Brazil nuts are the single richest dietary source of selenium on the planet. 2 or 3 nuts hits your full daily requirement. An ounce gives you 10 times that, which is why you stop at 2 or 3. Selenium in excess is toxic. This is the one case on this list where the disciplined move is eating less. 2 or 3, that's the dose. Don't be a hero. Why selenium? Because selenium is directly involved in testosterone synthesis at multiple steps. It's also the primary antioxidant defense for testicular tissue. Your balls are under oxidative attack every single day. Selenium is the armor. Most men aren't wearing it. The ones who are, you can tell. Zinc deficiency studies on men are not subtle. Deficient men have dramatically lower testosterone. Restore zinc. It comes back. Same thing with selenium. Documented, not a theory. not up for debate. And here's the thing about Brazil nuts that nobody mentions. They also carry magnesium and thiamine, both involved in energy metabolism and hormonal function. So you're not just hitting selenium, you're hitting 3 things at once with 2 nuts that cost less than $1. 2 to 3 Brazil nuts, 3 or 4 nights a week. Put the bag in your kitchen. Grab 2 when you walk past. Full protocol. Takes less effort than unlocking your phone. Number 5. Tart cherry juice. Not regular cherry juice, tart cherry. Different product entirely. Regular cherry juice is sugar and a label. Tart cherry actually does something. It's one of the only natural food sources of melatonin potent enough to genuinely affect sleep onset and sleep depth. And we already covered what deep sleep does for testosterone. You're not just falling asleep faster, you're spending more time in the slow wave cycles where testosterone production actually peaks. But that's not all. Tart cherry is also one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatories for athletic recovery. Multiple studies on training athletes, not sedentary people, actual athletes, show significantly reduced muscle damage, less soreness, faster return to full output. So in one shot, faster sleep onset, deeper sleep, more testosterone produced during that sleep, and faster muscle recovery, simultaneously, from juice that costs $4. The supplement industry would put this in a black bottle, give it a name with an X in it, charge you $60, and put a guy with a 6-pack on the label. It's juice, 4 ounces in water, 30 minutes before bed. It tastes like someone made cherry aggressive. You'll stop noticing after 3 days. If you need to add the honey from number 2 to get it down, that's stacking, not weakness. There's a difference. Know the difference. Number 6. Most boring looking food on this list. Most overlooked. Most responsible for quiet chronic testosterone suppression in men who are working hard and not understanding why they're not where they want to be. Here it is. Number 6. Pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds. I know. Sounds like something a man eats at a coffee shop while he reads about his feelings. I don't care. Eat them. Because what these things do to your testosterone is not a small thing. Pumpkin seeds are one of the highest dietary sources of zinc available, and zinc is the single most important mineral for testosterone production in men. Not one of the most important, the most important. Full stop. Zinc is required at multiple steps in the testosterone synthesis pathway. It's required for the enzyme that converts testosterone precursors into active, usable testosterone. Without adequate zinc, your body literally cannot complete the process. No matter how hard you train, how well you sleep, how clean you eat, you hit a ceiling and you cannot figure out why. Zinc deficiency studies on men are not subtle. Deficient men have dramatically lower testosterone. Restore zinc, it comes back. That's not a theory, that's documented. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. You don't need to be severely deficient for zinc to be suppressing your testosterone. Mild deficiency, the kind no doctor flags, the kind that doesn't show on a basic blood test, is enough to chronically blunt your output, and a massive percentage of men who train hard are mildly deficient. Because you sweat out zinc. Every session where you're actually working, not taking selfies between sets, actually working, you lose zinc through sweat. If you're training 4 or 5 days a week and not actively replacing it, you are running a deficit that gets quietly worse every single week. You might be outworking every man you know, and your testosterone could still be lower than a guy who hasn't seen the inside of a gym in 5 years, because he's not sweating out his zinc every day and you are. That should make you angry. Good. Channel it. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds before bed covers a significant portion of your daily zinc. Also has magnesium for sleep quality and free testosterone. Tryptophan for melatonin production. Cheap. Lasts months in a bag. Takes 5 seconds. There is no argument against having these in your kitchen starting tomorrow. None. Number 7. Greek yogurt. Full fat. I'll say it again. Full fat. Not low fat. Not zero fat. Not the version that tastes like punishment and poor decisions. Full fat Greek yogurt. Casein protein for overnight recovery. Same mechanism as the cottage cheese. But Greek yogurt also delivers magnesium and vitamin D. And I want you to understand what those actually do. Magnesium is involved in over 300 processes in your body, including testosterone synthesis. Studies on men who train show magnesium raises free testosterone, the testosterone your body can actually use. Most training men are deficient because you sweat it out, stress depletes it, and modern diets are borderline useless at replacing it. Vitamin D works more like a hormone than a vitamin. Your testicular cells have vitamin D receptors. Study after study shows the same correlation. Low vitamin D, low testosterone. If you work indoors, live somewhere with limited sun, or don't eat fatty fish regularly, there's a real chance you're deficient right now. Deficient means suppressed, chronically, without knowing it. Full-fat Greek yogurt has both. It also tastes like actual food, which is more than I can say for basically everything else the fitness industry has told you to eat for the last 2 decades. 1 cup before bed, raw honey on top, pumpkin seeds on top of that. You just built a $3 testosterone bowl that works while you sleep, and honestly tastes good enough that the woman in your kitchen might ask what you're eating. Let her wonder. Simple version, the one that actually gets done. You don't need all 7 every night. Start here. 2 whole eggs, 1 tablespoon of raw honey, 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds. Cholesterol for testosterone synthesis, cortisol suppression, zinc loading, 3 mechanisms, 2 minutes. Want more? Add Greek yogurt or cottage cheese for the overnight protein. Tart cherry juice 30 minutes before bed. Brazil nuts 3 nights a week. But start with the 3, tonight, not tomorrow, not after you go to the store next week. You have eggs, you probably have honey. Start tonight. No more planning. Execution. Here's what the fitness industry won't tell you because there's no money in it. The men with high testosterone at 40 aren't running exotic protocols. They're not taking 17 supplements. They don't have a secret stack. They sleep well, they train with real intent, and they eat the foods that support what their body is already trying to do. Your body knows how to produce testosterone. It's been trying to since you were a teenager. You just keep getting in the way. Bad sleep, chronic stress, and 40 years of dietary advice from people who were confidently, completely wrong. These 7 foods stop getting in the way every night while you sleep. The men who do this consistently, they look different. They carry themselves differently. They walk into a room differently. That's not a coincidence. Next video, what to eat during the day to keep testosterone elevated from the moment you wake up through your training session. Connects directly to everything here. Subscribe. New video every week. Now go eat the yolk.